welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Rye and this is Rye's Reading Corner. And today I'm going to be letting some of my booktube friends pick a book for me to read in 2022. Again, hello, I'm Rye and this is Rye's Reading Corner. If this is the first time you have seen my face or if you have not yet hit that subscribe button, please do so. It's really easy and it really helps my channel grow. So as you can tell by the thumbnail as well as my little introduction, I'm going to be starting a new little challenge for myself for 2022, and I am going to be letting some of my friends pick books for me that I am going to have to read for the year, which is really crazy, but I'm ready to relinquish some of that control. So I first saw this idea from Paige, from Pages with Paige. She had asked me to do this with her, also Lisa from Lisa Does Life, and I thought it'd be really fun to let my friends suggest some books for me to read for the next year. So I also want to do this because Kirsten from Kirsten's Corner actually recommended me a couple books that I actually read in 2021 that are now favorite books of all time. So I trust my friends' expertise. So pretty much all the things that I told them that they had to do was pick a book that either they think I will really like, that they want me to read, or a book that they really liked and want me to read. So they could kind of take it from two different angles. So they sent me little video clips of them telling me what they would like me to read. Now, I have not watched these clips yet. I have no idea. You help me over here? Yeah. A little helper. I have no idea what they've picked. So I'm going to do a live reaction pretty much as I am filming this. I'm going to kind of predict what I think they're going to pick for me and see if I'm right. So I'm hoping they were kind to me and didn't pick too difficult books to read or too thick ones. But I am going to want to read all these books in the next year. I will link all the channels down below of these amazing booktubers that have sent me some books to read. Please go check them out. They're all amazing. So let's get started. Okay, so I have them on my laptop. So I'm going to insert the video over here. I'm probably going to move over so that you can watch it. Like I said, this is my live reaction. I have not watched any of these. These are in no particular order. They're honestly whatever I just pull up first on my computer. So the first one is Kirsten from Kirsten's Corner. Obviously, if you are not new to this channel, you know about her because I pretty much talk about her in all of my videos. She is my best friend on Booktube and in like real life. So I think she'll either recommend me a Kristen Hanna book, a historical fiction, like the kind of the same realm, or maybe a YA contemporary. Those are my guesses. So let's see what she's recommending for me. Okay.
Hi, Rye! I'm so excited to be doing this video. Anyway, Happy New Year. So, if there's one book that you absolutely 100% must read in 2022, you know I had to pick a book by my girl, Kristen Hanna. You need to read The Nightingale. First off, this book is being created into a movie, so like, if you're gonna watch a movie, you need to read a book, you know how it be. But oh my goodness, this book, it's chonky. She is chonky, but she's so good and she flies by. It follows the story of these two sisters in World War II in France, I believe. Probably France, because there's an Eiffel Tower on the front. An Eiffel Tower, as if there's many in the world. But it follows these two sisters in France, and they have very, very, very different experiences in the war. I don't obviously want to give too much away, but they're in Nazi-occupied France, and it is just a story of female power and courage and love and strength, and oh my goodness, I just want to reread it. So yeah, please read this book in 2022.
Alright, so I was pretty on point with her. So she picked The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, which I actually do have this book. I don't know where it is though, so I'll just put a picture up here. This is historical fiction, not surprised. This is also going to be on my 22 books I want to read in 2022, so that worked out absolutely perfect. So thank you, Kirsten, for picking out a book that I already was planning on reading this year. So okay, we're off to not too bad. That is a chunky one though, but I am excited to read that one. So let's go to the next video. The next video is going to be from Heather from Belle's Library. Definitely go check her out. She's obviously, I'm going to repeat this, absolutely amazing. So I think she could potentially pick out a fantasy book. She reads a lot of different genres. Maybe romance. I don't know. But she also reads like science fiction too. So like, I don't know. I honestly, this one I'm not sure because she does read a lot of variety of genres, but I don't know. Let's go. Let's see what she's gonna recommend for me. Okay.
Hey Rye, how's it going? I am so excited to be recommending a book for you to read in 2022. When you contacted me about this idea, I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds so much fun. So thank you for thinking of me. So I was all excited at first, right, to be doing this. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what book am I going to choose? Because there's so many good books out there. And then I was like, it has to be a book that I think she will enjoy, because I don't want you to like be tortured by what I'm going to choose. And also a book that you haven't read already. And I was like, this just, now I'm getting overwhelmed. But I think I have settled on a book that will be wonderful. It is one of my favorite books. I have adored it. I know a lot of people have, although it is a polarizing book, so a lot of people haven't enjoyed it as well. But also, it is a book that I just recently was watching your buzzword-a-thon TBR, and it was on there, and I was like, so maybe you could like slide it in with that as well. Here. And so I'm hoping that will like help you out, and you can like, you know, do 2 different TBR tasks at the same time here. So the book that I am recommending to you is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I really hope that you get to this one in 2022. I adored it. If you don't know what The Night Circus is about, I know you do, right? But I don't know. As far as who's watching this, it is a miraculous story about this circus that just shows up at night. It doesn't tell anybody in the towns that they show up, that they're coming, and they set up, and there's like all these black and white, big, huge tents, and they have these amazing different shows going on. And there's also a behind the scenes competition between these 2 different magicians, I guess they would be called. And it is so imaginative and atmospheric and just beautiful, and just, oh my gosh, the creativity of this book blows my mind. So I hope you love it, and we'll get a chance to read it this next year. And that's gonna be my recommendation to you. And I hope you, like I said, I just hope you really, 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 really love it.
All right, so she picked The Night Circus, which again is a book that I want to read. It is on my buzzword TBR, so this works out perfect. And again, this is a thick one though, but I am really excited to get to this one. This is one that I've been wanting to read for quite some time, so thank you, Heather, for picking this one. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, so this one is from Chelsea Zhao. I think Chelsea will pick for me fantasy, I think. Definitely a big fantasy reader, so that's kind of, if I had to guess, that's where I think she'd be going. But let's see what book she's picked out for me to read next year. Okay.
Hello there, my name is Chelsea, and when Rye asked me to participate in this video and give her a book recommendation to read in 2022, I could not pass up the opportunity. And let me tell you, Rye, I think I found the perfect book or author for you. So my book recommendation is not going to be a very specific book, just because I don't know which one you would prefer to read. And I'm going to give you basically like 3 options, ones that I absolutely love, but I want you to read a book by Mariana Zapata. Ooh. She is the queen of slow burn romance, which personally I really, really enjoy, and she is an indie author. I have absolutely loved every single book I have ever read from her, even though I have not finished reading her backlist yet. But my absolute favorite book from her, of the ones I have read, is Wait For It. A lot of her books do have a sports element in it, and this one actually has some baseball elements. I'm not the biggest sports person, so the fact that I absolutely 100% fell in love with this book should tell you something, but it also has some more like family issues, because our main character here is also the guardian of her younger siblings, so we do have some tough topics as well. But again, I just absolutely love this book. So this would be my first choice for you. However, like I said, I don't know what your exact preference is. So the other 2 books that I actually have physical copies of, because I don't have a physical copy of Wait For It, are the very first book that I read by Mariana Zapata ever, which was The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. This one is football related, in case you couldn't tell from this. But we also have like a fake dating, fake marriage sort of trope in here, because I believe it is actually something about the main character needing to stay in the US to play sports instead of getting deported. I could be mistaken on which character it is, but I'm pretty sure it is him. And then the other one, which is actually one of her shorter books, is Rhythm, Chord, and Malakin. This one is actually going to be a rock star romance. So this one is not going to be sports related, even though a lot of her books are. But again, I absolutely loved it. Like I said, shorter. I mean, should I show you the difference between the books here? I want to say Wait For It is probably closer to the length of Wall of Winnipeg and Me. But yes, those are the two that I own physical copies of. Wait For It, though, is my absolute favorite. I just haven't gotten a physical copy yet. And so yeah, there's a couple options here for you, but ultimately, I think you need to read Mariana Zapata.
All right, so Chelsea coming with a surprise here. I didn't even think I should have. She does read some romance too, but I've been wanting to read from this author, so I'm super excited. I'll definitely be reading your top one, Chelsea. It sounds really good, and I do like baseball, so that works out absolutely perfect. So going in with the romance, breaking up some of this fantasy, and definitely by an author that I've been wanting to read about, and so that makes me really excited. This will kind of force me to read from that author, which is kind of the whole goal of this project. All right, so let's see who's next. Okay, so my next one is gonna be from Michelle Reads YA. I found Michelle too as a fellow mother, so is Chelsea. I forgot to mention that Chelsea and Michelle are both moms, which I absolutely love because I'm a mom too, and I feel like we bond beyond just books, we beyond with being a mom and on Booktube and loving to read. So it's really, really fun. So Michelle, and so is Heather. Heather's a mom too. Why am I losing my mind? So the past three have all been moms, which I absolutely love. So for Heather, her brand is YA. Obviously it's Michelle Reads YA. So I'm expecting a YA contemporary recommendation from her. Maybe Morgan Matheson, I think that's her last name. I know that's like her favorite author, so maybe one of those. I'm not sure, but I definitely think it'll be YA. So let's see what Michelle is recommending for me. Okay.
Hey Rise, so I was looking through your When to Read on Goodreads and you had a lot of great ones, but this one in particular stuck out to me because I read it probably 2 years ago now, and it's still like something I think about a lot, and I think that says a lot about a book, and that's Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. I just feel like this book takes a heavy topic and turns it into something really beautiful. So I hope you read it and I hope you like it. Bye.
Ooh, okay, Summer of Salt. I've been wanting to read this one for so long. It is a YA, but it does have a little touch of like fantasy elements, very, very light, I believe, and it is queer. So, oh my god, yes, okay. This book I do not own, so this is a book that I'm really excited to have in my collection because I've been wanting to buy it. So thank you so much, Michelle. I cannot wait to read this one in 2022. All right, the next person is Brennan from Brennan Dunaway. I love her. She's literally one of the sweetest people I've ever met, and I love her recommendations. She reads a lot of romances, especially some indie romances, and I have definitely gotten some book recs from her as well, so I'm super excited to take a look at her video. I'm thinking it will be romance, maybe Penny Reed, maybe. I know that's an author that she really, really likes, but I have no idea. So let's take a look and see what I'll be reading from Brennan.
Hey Rye, so I may be a broken record about this book. Maybe you've heard me talk about it. It is just different than any other book that I read this year. I think it would fall into the category of a thriller, but to me, it is just a fast-paced,
I'm totally wrong, then.
graphic revenge story.
Oh, it's this one.
It's Razorblade Tears
Razorblade
by
Tears.
S.A. Cosby. I feel like it's been super popular. It was a book of the month pick. But this is just such a good revenge story. You have two dads. Their sons were married to each other and they get murdered. And they didn't have the best relationships with their kids, but they team up. They both have dark pasts. And they just kind of go on a revenge, maybe a little bit of a killing spree. And it is just such a fun time. Definitely in my top 5 books that I read this year. Like I said, just so different from what I usually read. And I think that you may enjoy it also.
Ooh, okay. So I should have known this one. This is like her brand right now, like pretty much on her channel. She talks about this book all the time. But this is, like I said, a thriller, but this is a chunky thriller, and I like this element of these two dads teaming up whose sons were married. And yeah, I'm super excited to read this one. Maybe I'll pick this one up from Book of the Month since it is already on there, and I think it's going to be really good. So all right, thank you, Brennan, for that one. I'm so great. I'm just literally loving every moment of this. All right, let's go see what I have next. Okay, so the next one is from Becca, from the Becca Fowl, and I'm super excited to see what Becca has. Becca is someone that I have met more recently. We met through kind of like Patreons that we are on the same channels for, and I am super excited to see what she has recommended for me. She is a big fantasy reader, middle grade reader, so I feel like those might be either one or maybe a combination of both. That would be my recommendation, or like my guess, but I feel like I've been really wrong so far. So let's see what she recommends me.
Hi, Bri. Thank you so much for asking me to be a part of this video. The moment you asked me, I knew exactly what book I was going to pick you. And it's because you commented on one of my videos mentioning that you liked the sound of it the other week. And so when you asked me to do this clip, I instantly knew I was going to give you The Upside of Falling by Alex Light.
Okay.
I think you will really like this. It's a cute YA contemporary. It has the fake dating trope. I really loved it and I think you will too. And I really hope you do.
Okay. Totally wrong on my guess, but I am so excited for this book. She did just talk about this in a video recently and sounded really good. It's caught my eye on KU quite a few times. So this will be, I'm so glad to have some of these romances, YA contemporaries throughout some of these videos, because I feel like it's definitely going to help me break up some of these thick fantasy or the thick thriller that I'm going to be reading. So yeah, I'm super excited this one, and I think, like I said, this one is on KU, so that will probably just get it from there, and then if I love it, I'll probably purchase it. Let's be honest. So all right, let's see which video I'm going to be watching next. Okay, so camera angles probably change. It's going to change probably many times throughout this video because I've had to like film this in like clips because everyone's clips are in like different spots, so it just made it kind of chaotic. But the next one is from Lisa Does Life. I met Lisa kind of through like Becca and from the Becca Fowl, and I love her content. She is a smaller booktuber, so please go check her out. She deserves all of the subscribers. Her content is so funny and I love watching her. She reads a lot of fantasy, so I have a feeling I'm gonna get a fantasy recommendation from her. So let's check out and see what Lisa recommended for me.
Hi Rai, thank you so much for asking me to pick a book for you. Okay, so this probably comes as no surprise to you, but I'm going to pick Spellslinger by Sebastian Castell. This follows a young boy called Kellen who is approaching his 16th birthday. As these people within the Janto community are approaching their 16th birthday, they are supposed to spark bands, their magic is supposed to grow. They're supposed to be growing into eventually becoming a mage and being named a mage, but unfortunately for Kellen, his magic is starting to dim and he doesn't know why. No matter what he does, he can't seem to spark his bands and get his magic to work. And he feels like he's a failure in life until he meets Ferius, and then it's just chaos and fun times. We also meet a fun character called Rikus along the way. It's just a great series in general, and I would recommend all his books at this point, but if you start with Spellslinger, it will be a great way to start off reading Sebastian Castell, and I really hope you like it because he is one of my autobi authors now. He's one of my favourite authors to read from, and yeah, I really hope you like his books. Please let me know how you get on. But once again, thank you for letting me take part, and I can't wait to see your thoughts. Bye.
Alright, so Spellslinger, I'm so excited. I've heard a lot of people talk about this book and tons about this author, and I've been wanting to adventure into Sebastian de Castell's, I think I said right, work, but I kind of didn't know where to start, so this is absolutely awesome. So thank you so much, Lisa. I'm so excited. Alright, let's go to the next video. But my next one is from Manda from Ginger Snapped Reads. Manda has been one of my friends on here since day one when we were baby booktubers, and so I had to ask her to be included in this video because she has been there since day one for me. So if I had to guess, I would, which I'm not doing very good at this, so I don't know if I even should guess anymore, but I would guess a smutty romance. That's kind of her signature, but at this point I really have no idea, so let's take a look.
Hey guys, so my recommendation is going to have two options because I know I'm a mood reader, so if you're not in the mood for one of these, you have another option. So the first one is The Fine Print by Lauren Asher.
Okay.
It's like a boss employee, grumpy, sunshiny, enemies to lovers, set in an amusement park. It's just stunning. Then we have Be Still My Heart by Sav Miller and Emily McIntyre, which is more of a suspense romance between a detective and a fisherman. Also kind of grumpy guy, and it's also really good, so...
Okay, so romance. I figured it was gonna be romance. A lot of buzzwords. I mentioned in both of these: grumpy sunshine, boss employee, amusement park. Like, both of these sound so good, and I remember her talking about the first one. But yeah, I cannot wait to. Maybe I'll end up reading both of these for Amanda. But yeah, so thank you, Amanda. Those both sound really good, and I love the variety of books I'm gonna be able to read this month. So let's go to my next one. All right, so the next one is from Angelina Reads. I met her through when we did the Disney games. It was a readathon last December. I love her. She's a mom as well, so we can relate on many different levels. She is a pretty big romance reader, so I'm gonna guess romance. Am I going to be right? I don't know. At this point, I feel like I have been failing at all of my guesses, but let's take a look and see what she recommends.
Hi, Rye. Thank you so much for asking me to recommend you a book. And the book that I will be recommending you will be Tokyo Ever After by Amiko Jean. It is the first book in a young adult series, and I gave the first book 5 stars. It was a Reese's YA book club pick for this year, and I really enjoyed it, and I think that you will enjoy it too.
Ooh, okay, so Tokyo Ever After. I've seen this in stores before, and it's definitely caught my eye. So I'm really excited to read this one, and plus it's a Reese's book club, so I'm sure it's really amazing. And yeah, I don't know if it's contemporary, historical fiction. I don't know what genre it is, but I am super excited to figure it out, and I like that it's gonna be a series. I feel like there aren't like many series in YA unless they're fantasy, and I don't think this one's fantasy. So yeah, I could be wrong, but I'm super excited. So thank you, Angelina, for recommending this one, and I'm loving all these books that you guys have been pretty good about books that I want to read. You guys are like picked them and you didn't even know. So all right, let's go to the next one. All right, so the next one is Paige from Pages with Paige. I met Paige through Booktube beta in August, and we have definitely become friends through here. We read a lot of the kind of like thick fantasy books that we like. We have some similar tastes, so I'm really excited to see what she has recommended for me. I'm thinking maybe a fantasy. I don't know, but let's go see.
Hi Rye, thank you so much for including me in your Booktuber recommend challenge video for 2022. So I'm super excited to be a part. My name's Paige from the channel Pages with Paige, and so Rye's asked us to recommend a book that we think either she will love or that we've loved and want her to read. And recently I saw in my comments that she's recently purchased a book, and so I'm going to recommend that one, and that's Neon Gods by Katie Robert. This is the first in the Dark Olympus series, which is a mafia style romance based off the Greek gods. So I'm super excited to see what Rye thinks about this. I have shouted about this from the rooftops as much as TikTok.
Ooh, okay, so Neon Gods by Katie Robert. This is a very smutty retelling of Persephone's, I think. I did pick this up because I feel like everyone's been talking about it and really want to kind of see what all this talks about. Katie Roberts is an author, but I just actually bought another book by, I believe it's the same author, and again, it's like, I think it's the Disney retellings from the villain's perspective. Super smutty. I cannot wait to read this one, and I should have known because she's talked quite a bit about this on her channel. So thank you, Paige, for picking out a book. I'm super excited. Like I said, I did haul this recently, so it works out absolutely perfect. So let's go to the next one. All right, so my next one is I asked Bree from Four Paws and a Book. This is someone, again, I have known really since the beginning of my Booktube journey. So I felt like it had to be fitting that I included Bree. I absolutely adore Bree, and we talk quite a bit, even outside like our video comments and stuff, so I cannot wait to see what she has for me to read. It could be fantasy, it could be romance, it maybe something that has some queer rep in it. I'm not exactly sure, so let's take a look and see what she has recommended for me.
Hello, my name is Brianna, and you can find me at Four Paws and a Book on YouTube and Instagram. And my book recommendation for you, I wanted to find something really queer, because I know that you love reading queer books, but I wanted to go a little bit outside of your comfort zone. Maybe, I know you read a lot of fantasy and you read a lot of contemporary, but I haven't seen you read as much sci-fi. So I wanted to pick up a book that might stretch you a little bit, but I think that you're absolutely going to love. And that is The Darkness Outside Us by Elliot Schreffer. This was one of my favorite books that I read in 2021. It is an absolutely beautiful, soft cinnamon roll, gaze in space, with a little bit of a dark twist to into it, so I'll definitely be interested to hear what you say about the plot twist. Really excited about that. Also, I know that you are going to be participating in the Buzzwordathon next year, and this I think fits multiple months, so I think you should definitely, pick it up. Thank you so much for asking me to do this for you, and I hope that you love this book.
Okay, so I'm super excited for this one. So again, I was right, something that's queer. We both love reading books with queer rep in it. That's something that we have in common. And yeah, science fiction is something that I don't read tons of, but I want to read more of. It's actually one of my goals for 2022 is to read books outside of my comfort zone, which is like contemporary, romance, and fantasy. So I'm super excited to have this to kind of push me more, and the fact that it's queer I think will even be even better. So I have almost bought this book so many times, so thank you, Brie, for recommending me this book because I definitely want to read this one. Alright, so the next one, and I believe it's the last one, is going to be from Sarah from Sarah's Shelves. Alright, so Sarah from Sarah's Shelves, I have known, we've done a lot of participating in the same type of readathons. We have a lot of mutual friends, but I've recently really started talking more with Sarah. She's absolutely amazing. She reads a lot of some romance. I know recently that's kind of been what she's been reading a lot this year, and I can't wait to see what she has shared with me because I think she's an absolutely amazing human being, and I know she recommended something really good for me. She said she couldn't pick between 3, so she was going to recommend all 3 for me, and then I could either read all 3 or I could pick 1 out of the 3. So let me see. I'm really excited to see what she picks. So here we go.
Hi Rye, thank you so much for reaching out to me and asking me to be a part of this video concept. I'm super excited, but I'm even more excited to be able to recommend a book to you that hopefully you'll give 5 stars. I originally had narrowed it down to 3 different books, and I was just going to recommend all 3, but then I decided against it because you're going to be reading a lot of other books for this video. So I'm just going to go easy on you and recommend you 1. I narrowed it down to the one I think has the highest probability of being a 5-star read for you, based on another book you gave 5 stars. So that book, without further ado, is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I saw that you also gave It Ends With Us 5 stars, and this book is even better, in my humble opinion. Ooh. I love it so much. I am definitely going to be rereading it soon because it is one of my new all-time favorites. I love it so much. And I don't want to say too much about it, but I'll just say it follows our 2 main characters, Tate and Miles, and what starts off as kind of a friends with benefits type situation ends up maybe being more ? I mean, we all know how romances go. But I also wanted to read this little quote on the back of the book, which piqued my interest when I was first looking into this book. And it is, hearts get infiltrated, promises get broken, rules get shattered, love gets ugly. And if that doesn't pull you in and make you want to read this book right away, I don't know what will. But I hope you give it 5 stars. I hope you love it as much as I did. And I cannot wait for you to read it.
So she must have changed her plan because last time I knew she had 3. But yes, Sarah, thank you so much for recommending Ugly Love. I have that on my bookshelves. My goal is to read a lot of Colleen Hoover's backlist in 2022. So that fits that little goal that I have going on. So yay! Okay, I am so excited. Thank you all of you who recommended me books. I am just so ecstatic that I'm have people that I feel I can even ask, and this community has brought me so much joy over 2021, and I just want to read some of my friends on here their favorite books and books that they absolutely love, and so I can just spread some joy with reading. So, super corny, but yeah, so I'm so glad. Thank you. So I'm planning on maybe filming little vlogs of each one of these books to see how well I like it or not, which is, I'm kind of nervous to read these books. I hope that I like them, but I know I will because I trust all of you who recommend these books. So if you want to take this crazy journey with me and to keep track with my new project, I will be starting it in January. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you never want to miss any of my content, make sure you hit that little notification button. Also, if you want to be my friend on any of my other social media platforms, I'm on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. All the information is linked down below. So stay kind, loves, and I'll see you next time. Bye!